I wasn't supposed to be his mate. I was sent to replace my own brother. The king looked at me once and said, "You're not the one I asked for." But when his rut started, he still dragged me into his arms. Not because he wanted me, but because I was useful. And stupidly, I stayed. I thought if I stayed long enough, maybe he'd finally choose me. I was wrong. The first thing I notice is the smell. Not the cold stone. Not the towering black gates. Not even the wolves lined along the palace walls, their eyes following me like I'm something already claimed. No, it's the scent. Thick, heavy, dominant. It presses against my lungs the moment I step inside, like the air itself belongs to him. I lower my head instinctively, fingers tightening in the sleeves of my robe. The fabric is too fine for me, too soft, too clean. It still feels stolen. Because it is. This life, this place, this position. None of it was ever meant for me. Walk. The guard's voice snaps at my back, sharp and impatient. I nod quickly and move forward. Don't tremble. Don't look up. Don't draw attention. That's how I've survived this long. The throne room doors open with a heavy groan. My breath catches. He's there. I don't need to look up to know. The scent is stronger here. Overwhelming. It coils around my throat, slides under my skin, settles deep in my bones like something ancient recognizing something weak. Alpha. Not just any alpha. The king. My knees hit the ground before I even think about it. Cold stone bites through the thin fabric. I press my forehead down, ears flat and tight against my head. Lift your face. The voice is low, controlled, dangerous. For a second, I hesitate. Then I obey. Slowly, I raise my head and meet his eyes. Golden, sharp, unforgiving. They sweep over me once, just once, and something in his expression shifts. Not interest, not curiosity, disappointment. You're not the one I asked for. The words land quietly, but they hit harder than anything. My throat tightens. I force myself to speak. "And my lord." Quiet. The command cuts me off instantly. My lips press together. He leans back slightly in his throne, gaze still fixed on me like I'm something mildly inconvenient. A black rabbit. There's faint distaste in his tone. I curl my fingers tighter against the floor. I was told I would be given Isaac. The name stings. Of course it does. He was always the one meant to stand here. Beautiful. Desired. Worth something. Not me. Isaac is unwell, I whisper, keeping my eyes lowered now. So, I was sent in his place. Silence stretches. Heavy. Uncomfortable. Then, a quiet exhale. Not anger. Worse. Acceptance. I see. That's it. No outrage. No rejection. Just that. Like I'm a poor trade, but still usable. My chest aches in a way I don't understand. Stand. I push myself up immediately, legs unsteady. He rises from the throne. And suddenly, he feels closer. Bigger. The air shifts as he steps down toward me, each movement slow, deliberate. My instincts scream at me to back away, to run, to hide. But I don't move. I can't. He stops in front of me. Too close. I can feel the heat of him now. The scent, stronger, sharper, wraps around me completely. My breath stutters. His hand lifts. I flinch before I can stop myself. There's a pause. Then his fingers close around my chin. Firm. Not gentle, but not cruel either. He tilts my face upward, forcing me to meet his gaze again. Golden eyes study me carefully this time. Lingering. Evaluating. You smell weak. The words should embarrass me. They do. But beneath that, something else flickers. Because his grip doesn't loosen. If I release my pheromones, he continues quietly, you won't last long. My pulse stumbles. I'll endure, I whisper. His brows shift slightly. Just a fraction. Like that answer wasn't expected. We'll see. The first dose comes that same night. A servant brings it without explanation. A small vial. Clear liquid. Drink. I hesitate. What is it? The servant doesn't look at me. Medicine. Of course. Everything here is simple like that. I drink it. It burns. Not immediately, but slowly. Like something is changing under my skin. I grip the edge of the bed, breath hitching as heat spreads through my body. Unnatural, controlled wrong. My ears twitch weakly. My senses blur. By morning, the servants whisper. Look, it worked. I stare at my reflection. The dark hue of my fur gone. Replaced. White. Just like his. Just like Isaac. My stomach twists. I touch my cheek, fingers trembling. I don't look like myself anymore. Good. That's the point. Night falls. And with it, Something changes. The palace grows quieter. Tense. Like the walls themselves are holding their breath. I feel it before I understand it. The shift in the air. The scent. No longer controlled. No longer distant. It crashes into me all at once. Heavy. Hot. Overwhelming. My knees nearly give out. Rut. My heart pounds. Too fast. Too loud. I try to step back. The door slams open. He's there. Not composed anymore. Not distant. His breathing is uneven, shoulders tight, eyes darker than before. Locked on me. Like prey. My throat goes dry. My lord. He crosses the room in seconds. His hand grabs my wrist, pulls me forward. My back hits the wall. Hard. The scent is suffocating now. It presses into my lungs, fills my head, scrambles my thoughts. I can't think. I can't breathe. I can only feel. Him. Everywhere. His face lowers to my neck. Hot breath. Sharp inhale. His grip tightens. Wrong. The word is rough. Unsteady. But it'll do. My chest tightens. I don't know why that hurts. It shouldn't. I knew this. I agreed to this. Still, my fingers clutch weakly at his sleeve. Please be careful. The words come out broken. He doesn't answer. His hand slides to my back, pulling me closer, pressing me against him as if proximity alone can fix whatever is tearing through him. I tremble. Not just from fear. Something else. Something his scent is pulling out of me. Something I can't control. His face stays buried at my neck, breathing me in again and again like he's trying to stabilize himself. Using me. Just like medicine. Just like I was sent here for. My eyes close. And for a brief, fragile moment, I lean into him. Just slightly. Later, when the room is quiet again, when the scent fades just enough for me to think, I sit alone on the edge of the bed. My body still feels warm. Heavy. Used. But not broken. I look down at my hands. They're still trembling. Not from fear this time. From something I don't want to name. He didn't reject me. He didn't accept me either. He just kept me. I press my fingers into my palm, grounding myself. This is enough. It has to be. Because Isaac would never survive this. I lift my head slowly. Stare at the closed door. At the world beyond it. I'll stay, I whisper to no one. Even if I'm just a substitute. Even if I'm just something to use. I'll stay. Because I chose this. Didn't I? But deep down, somewhere I try not to look, a quiet thought forms. If I stay long enough, will he ever see me? Or will I always just be close enough? I learn his rhythm before I learn the palace. Not the schedules the servants whisper about. Not the formalities I'm supposed to follow. Him. When he wakes. When he leaves. When the air shifts just enough to warn me he's about to lose control. I don't think he realizes I've memorized it. Or maybe he does. Maybe that's why he keeps calling for me. Percy. My name sounds different in his voice. He doesn't say it often. When he does, it's quiet. Controlled. Like it slipped out before he could stop it. I step forward immediately, lowering my head. Yes, my lord. He's seated by the window this time, sunlight cutting across his face, turning his golden eyes sharper, colder. But he doesn't look at me right away. He just gestures. Come closer. I obey. Always. At first, I thought I was only meant for his rut. Something to stabilize him. To quiet the beast inside him. But now he calls for me even when he's perfectly in control. It confuses me. It shouldn't. I shouldn't think about it this much. Still, I stop a few steps away. Wait. He glances at me finally, irritation flickering. Closer. Another step. More. Until I'm standing right beside him. Close enough to feel the heat of his body again. Close enough for my pulse to start betraying me. His hand lifts. For a second, I freeze. But this time, I don't flinch. His fingers brush against my sleeve first. Then slide down slowly until they reach my wrist. He holds it lightly. Not like before. Not forceful. Not urgent. Just there. My breath catches anyway. You've adjusted, he says, almost to himself. I try to, my lord. His thumb presses faintly against my pulse. He feels how fast it is. Of course he does. You're still nervous. I don't deny it. Yes. There's a pause. Then. Good. The word lands strangely. I don't understand it. I don't ask. He keeps me there longer than necessary. Says nothing. Does nothing. Just holds my wrist. Like he's thinking. Like he's measuring something I can't see. When he finally lets go, the absence of his touch feels colder than it should. You may go. I bow quickly. But as I turn, Percy. I stop. Yes. A beat of silence. Nothing. I wait. He doesn't continue. So I leave. But the way his gaze lingers on my back, it follows me all the way out. That night, he calls for me again. No warning. No explanation. Just, bring him. I kneel beside the bed this time. The room is darker than usual. Quieter. He's not in rut. I can tell immediately. His scent is controlled. Restrained. But something else is there. Something heavier. Something watchful. Come here. My body moves before I think. Closer. Closer. Until I'm within reach. He doesn't grab me this time. Doesn't drag me into him. Instead, his hand rests on my shoulder. Firm. Grounding. My breath slows slightly. Then, he pulls. Not harsh. Not sudden. Just enough to guide me forward. Until I'm sitting beside him. My body goes still. I've never been this close to him like this. Not without urgency. Not without need. This feels different. His fingers move again. This time they brush against my neck. Light. Exploring. I swallow hard. My lord? He doesn't answer. His gaze is on me now. Direct. Focused. Not looking through me. Looking at me. Like I'm something unfamiliar. Something he's trying to understand. His fingers slide slightly higher. My breath stutters. Relax. The word is soft. Too soft. It makes something in my chest tighten. I try. I really do. But when his hand cups the side of my neck, when his thumb presses just below my ear, my body betrays me completely. A small sound escapes my lips. Quiet. Embarrassing. His eyes darken slightly. Sensitive. I lower my gaze, cheeks burning. I'm sorry. Don't apologize. The command is immediate. Sharp. I fall silent. His hand doesn't move away. Instead, it lingers. Traces the same spot again. Slower. Deliberate. Like he's testing the reaction. And I can't stop reacting. My fingers clutch at the fabric of my robe. My breathing turns uneven. Everything feels too warm. Too close. Too much. But I don't pull away. I never do. Then, he shifts. Pulls me closer. Not against the wall this time. Not trapped. Just closer. Until my side presses lightly against his. My heart starts racing again. I don't know where to look. Don't know what to do. So I stay still. Let him decide. Like always. His face lowers slowly. Not rushed. Not desperate. Controlled. Intentional. When his breath brushes against my neck, I shiver. He notices. Of course he does. His lips don't touch. Not yet. He just stays there. Breathing me in. Like he's searching for something. Something specific. Something I'm not sure I have. You've changed. The words are quiet. I blink. I have. He hums softly. Barely there. The medicine suits you. My chest tightens. Right. This face. This scent. This version of me. Isn't mine. It's borrowed. Made. To resemble someone else. Still. He doesn't move away. When his lips finally brush my skin. It's brief. Almost nothing. But it sends a sharp warmth through my entire body. My breath breaks. His hand tightens slightly at my waist. Holding me in place. Not letting me escape. Even though I'm not trying to. Time feels strange after that. Slow. Heavy. Every movement deliberate. Every touch measured. He doesn't rush. Doesn't lose control. This isn't like before. This isn't instinct. This is a choice. And that makes it worse. Because it feels like something more. At the peak of it, when my thoughts are blurred, when my body feels too light, too open, he exhales against my skin and whispers, Isaac. Everything stops. Not him. Not the moment. Just me. My body goes still beneath his hands. My chest tightens painfully. That fragile warmth shatters. I stare at nothing. Say nothing. Because what is there to say? I knew. From the beginning. I knew. He doesn't notice the shift. Or maybe he chooses not to. Because he doesn't stop. Doesn't pull away. Doesn't correct himself. Later. When it's over. When the room is quiet again. I sit where he left me. Hands resting in my lap. Still. Empty. He's already turned away. Back to being the king. Controlled. Distant. Like nothing happened. Who is he? The question slips out before I can stop it. Silence. Then. A shift in the air. Cold. Sharp. Dangerous. That's not your concern. His voice has changed. Back to what it was the first day. Distant. Unreachable. I lower my head quickly. I'm sorry. I leave soon after. The hallway feels longer than before. Colder. Heavier. Each step harder to take. I press a hand against my chest. Try to steady my breathing. It doesn't work. Because something inside me, something small and foolish, had started to believe I might be becoming something more than a substitute. I stop walking. Close my eyes. Tight. That was a mistake. A dangerous one. From now on, I won't forget. I won't hope. I won't misunderstand. But even as I tell myself that, my body still remembers the way he said my name earlier. The way his touch lingered. The way, for a moment, he looked at me. And that's what scares me. The palace changes before I even see him. Servants move faster. Voices drop lower. The air, already heavy with wolf scent, sharpens with something new. Sweeter. Cleaner. Familiar in a way that makes my chest tighten. I know what it means. I just don't want to say it out loud. Keep your head down today. One of the older servants murmurs it as she adjusts my sleeve. Her hands are gentle. Careful. Like I might break. I nod. I understand. But my fingers are already trembling. I don't need to be summoned. The moment the palace doors open, I feel it. That shift. That pull. Not toward me. Never toward me. I'm standing at the edge of the great hall when he walks in. Isaac. White fur, untouched, natural. Nothing forced, nothing artificial like mine. It catches the light in a way that makes him look almost untouchable. Delicate. Perfect. Everything I spent weeks trying to imitate. He is without effort. My breath gets stuck somewhere in my throat. He doesn't look afraid. Not even a little. And Adam. Adam steps forward. Not slow. Not measured. Immediate. Instinctive. Like something inside him recognized what it had been waiting for. Isaac. His voice. I've never heard it like that before. Softer. Lower. Careful. Like he's afraid to break something. My chest tightens sharply. Isaac smiles faintly. Not wide. Not warm. Controlled. My king. He lowers his gaze just enough to be respectful. But there's something else beneath it. Something sharp. Something calculating. I see it. Even if Adam doesn't. I take a step back. Then another. No one notices. Why would they? I was never part of this. Prepare the inner chambers. The command echoes through the hall. Not for me. Never for me. That night, I don't get called. I sit alone in my room, hands resting in my lap, staring at nothing. The silence feels wrong. Too quiet. Too empty. I should be relieved. My body should be grateful for the rest. Instead, it feels like something is missing. Something I shouldn't have gotten used to in the first place. Then, it starts. A faint sound. Distant. But clear enough. My breath catches. I know where it's coming from. I shouldn't listen. I shouldn't think about it. I shouldn't. I do. Soft. Low. Not desperate. Not rough. Nothing like the nights he spent with me. This is different. Measured. Gentle. There's a murmur, too quiet to make out words, but the tone is enough. Reassuring. Careful. Like he's holding something precious. My fingers curl tightly into the fabric of my robe. My body reacts. Before my mind can stop it. Heat. Slow. Unwanted. It spreads under my skin, tightening my chest, making my breathing uneven. No. I shake my head slightly. Try to steady myself. This isn't mine. None of this is mine. But the scent. Faint, drifting through the corridors. Reaches me anyway. Alpha. Omega. Together. Complete. My stomach twists painfully. I press my hand against my mouth, trying to silence the small, broken sound that escapes. This is what it was supposed to be. This is what he was waiting for. Not me. Never me. The heat builds. Wrong. Uncontrolled. I stumble to my feet, gripping the edge of the table for support. I can handle this. I whisper it like a promise. Like a lie. But my body doesn't listen. It remembers him. His scent. His touch. The way he held me. Not like this. Never like this. My knees hit the floor. Hard. The cold doesn't help. Nothing helps. The door opens. I don't hear it at first. I only realize someone's there when the scent changes. Sharp. Familiar. Overwhelming. Adam. My head snaps up. My vision blurs slightly, but I see him clearly enough. He's standing in the doorway. Not disheveled. Not out of control. Perfectly composed. But his eyes. They flick over me once. Take in everything. The way I'm shaking. The way I'm struggling to breathe. The way I can't seem to get up. He steps inside. Slowly. Closes the door behind him. The sound echoes too loudly. My lord. My voice barely works. I try to stand. I fail. He's in front of me before I can try again. Close. Too close. My body reacts immediately, leaning forward slightly. Seeking. I hate it. Pathetic. The word is quiet. Not angry. Just factual. My chest tightens. I'm sorry. I don't even know what I'm apologizing for anymore. His hand lifts. For a second. Just 1 second. I think he's going to touch me. The way he used to. The way my body still remembers. Still wants. Then. A voice. Soft. Clear. From outside the door. Adam. Isaac. Everything shifts. Instantly. His hand stops midair. His gaze flicks away from me. Toward the door. Toward him. The pull disappears. Like it was never there. He lowers his hand. Steps back. The distance feels colder than before. Control yourself. The words land harder than anything else. Not cruel. Not harsh. Just. Final. My voice breaks. I swallow hard. Force it down. Yes, my lord. He turns. Doesn't look back. Doesn't hesitate. The door closes behind him. And just like that, I'm alone again. The heat doesn't disappear immediately. It lingers. Fades slowly. Painfully. Like something being torn out piece by piece. I curl in on myself, pressing my forehead against the cold floor. My body finally stills. But my chest feels like it's collapsing inward. I understand now. Completely. Clearly. There's no confusion left. What we had was never real. Not even a little. I was a placeholder. A temporary solution. Something to endure until the real thing returned. And now, he has. Days pass. I move through them quietly. Carefully. Like I always have. No one calls for me anymore. No one needs me. But my body doesn't understand that. The sickness starts subtly. A wave of dizziness. A strange heaviness. Something unfamiliar settling deep inside me. I ignore it at first. I have no right to complain. No right to ask for anything. Until, one morning, I don't make it out of my room. The servant who finds me panics. Voices blur together. Hands move too quickly. And then, a word. Soft. Barely above a whisper. But loud enough to echo in my head. Pregnant. Everything goes still. My fingers curl weakly against the sheets. My breathing turns shallow. Pregnant. For a moment. Just a moment. Something fragile blooms in my chest. Hope. I press a trembling hand against my stomach. Careful. Gentle. Like I might break something. Mine. Not borrowed. Not replaced. Not mistaken for someone else. Mine. A small, shaky breath escapes me. For the first time since I arrived here, I feel like I have something of my own. Something no one can take. We need to inform the king. The words shatter the moment instantly. My eyes open slowly. Adam. My heart stutters. This changes everything. Doesn't it? I close my eyes again, holding on to that fragile warmth as tightly as I can. Because for the first time, I want to believe. I won't be so easy to replace anymore. I rehearse the words until they lose meaning. I'm pregnant. It's yours. I'll be careful. Each version sounds smaller than the last. By the time I'm led into his chambers, all I have left is a thin thread of breath and a hand that won't stop trembling against my stomach. Speak. He doesn't look at me right away. Adam stands by the window, light cutting along his jaw, his posture carved into control. The room smells like him, cold iron, storm, something sharp beneath it that I've learned to read as restraint. I bow. My lord. My voice falters. I swallow it down. I'm with child. Silence. Not the kind that listens. The kind that calculates. He turns. Slowly. Golden eyes settle on me, then drift briefly, to my hand where it rests over my abdomen. His gaze doesn't soften. It narrows. How far? A few weeks, I manage. The physician confirmed. I heard you. The interruption is clean. Precise. I lower my eyes again. There's a long pause. I wait for something, anything. Anger. Relief. Even indifference would be easier if it came with words. Instead, we'll deal with it later. That's all. No step closer. No question. No acknowledgement of what we made. Just a decision postponed. My chest tightens, something fragile bending under the weight of that sentence. Leave. The command lands without force, but it ends everything. I bow. Turn. Walk. I don't look back. The corridor feels longer on the way out. Colder. I keep my hand pressed lightly to my stomach, like I can shield what's there from a world that already feels hostile to it. We'll deal with it later. I repeat it in my head, trying to carve hope into it. Maybe he needs time. Maybe the bond matters. Maybe. Percy. I freeze. Isaac stands at the end of the hall, white fur catching the light like it belongs there. He smiles when I meet his eyes, polite, practiced, sharp around the edges. Walk with me. It isn't a request. I follow. We end up in a smaller chamber, quiet and closed. No servants. No witnesses. He moves first, circling me once slow, appraising. You look unwell, he says lightly. I'm fine. Are you? His gaze drops to my hand. The way I hold myself. Understanding flickers. Ah. He steps closer. Too close. You told him. It isn't a question. I nod. His smile thins. And, he said we'll deal with it later. Isaac hums softly, like he expected nothing more. Of course he did. My throat tightens. He didn't reject it. I say quieter than I mean to. He just needs time. Isaac's eyes lift to mine. For a moment, the softness disappears entirely. Percy, he says almost gently, you're very good at lying to yourself. I flinch. I'm not. You are. He tilts his head. But it's understandable. You've survived this long that way. His hand lifts. I tense. He doesn't touch me yet. Do you know why you're here? He asks. I was sent. To take my place, he finishes. To absorb what I didn't want to endure. His smile returns. Colder now. And now you think you get to keep something from it? My fingers curl protectively. This isn't about you, I whisper. This child shouldn't exist. The words are quiet. They cut anyway. I shake my head, stepping back. It's his, and I am the one he chose. Isaac's voice doesn't rise. It doesn't need to. He chose me before you arrived. He chose me when you were used. He chooses me now. Each word lands like a weight. I try to move past him. Excuse me. His hand closes around my wrist. Firm. Unyielding. You were never meant to keep anything, he says softly. My pulse spikes. Let go. For your sake, he adds, almost kindly. There's a flicker of movement, too fast to track. A pressure. Then, pain. It doesn't arrive all at once. It blooms. Low in my abdomen, a deep, wrong ache that spreads outward, tightening, twisting until my breath fractures around it. I gasp. What? Isaac's grip steadies me as my knees weaken. Shoo, he murmurs. Don't make a scene. My vision blurs. The room tilts. Something wet, warm, wrong slides down my thigh. No. I try to pull away. My body doesn't listen. The pain sharpens, spikes, then tears through me in waves that leave me shaking, clutching at my stomach like I can hold everything together by force. Please. The word breaks apart in my mouth. Please. No one comes. Of course no one comes. Isaac eases me down, careful, almost gentle as he lowers me to the floor. It'll pass, he says. It always does. My hands are slick now. I don't look. I don't need to. I know. I know what's happening. Stop, please stop. I don't know who I'm begging. Him. My body. The world. It doesn't matter. Nothing stops. When I wake, the pain is gone. That's how I know it's over. The absence is louder than the agony was. Empty. Hollow. I stare at the ceiling, the edges of it swimming in and out of focus. There's a weight beside the bed. A presence. I turn my head. Adam. He stands there, arms crossed, expression carved from the same cold stone as the palace walls. For a heartbeat, just one, I think he came for me. That he'll say something. Do something. Ask. Is it done? He asks the physician. My breath stutters. The physician bows. Yes, my king. A pause. Then. Good. The word lands like a verdict. I don't recognize the sound that leaves me. It's too small to be a sob. Too broken to be anything else. Adam's gaze shifts to me then. Finally. I wait. I don't know what for anymore. His eyes move over me, taking in the pallor, the stillness, the way my hands clutch at nothing. No softness comes. Forget it, he says. It's better this way. Something inside me goes quiet. Not shattered. Not loud. Just gone. The place where I kept trying to believe in him empties out completely. I look at him. Really look. At the man I leaned into. The man I steadied. The man I thought might, eventually, see me. There's nothing there for me. There never was. Yes, my lord, I whisper. The words taste like ash. Days blur. I move because I'm told to. Eat because food is placed in front of me. Sleep because my body collapses into it. The palace goes on. It always does. When the rut hits again, I feel it before anyone calls me. That familiar pressure in the air. The scent tightening, thickening, curling under my skin. A servant comes. The king requests you. I stand. I go. Of course I go. He's already on edge when I enter. breathing heavier than usual. Control slipping at the seams. His eyes lock onto me. There's recognition there. Instinct. He crosses the room in 2 strides. Hands on my shoulders. Pulling me close. My body reacts. It always has. Leans. Opens. Responds to the command in his scent. But something is different. There's no warmth behind it. No answering pull from deep inside. Just a hollow echo. He presses his face to my neck, inhaling sharply, searching for the same relief I used to give him. I wait for the shift. For the way my body used to melt, to anchor him, to meet him halfway. It doesn't come. His grip tightens. Percy. My name. Rough. Impatient. I don't respond the way he expects. My hands stay at my sides. My breath stays shallow. My eyes dry. He pulls back slightly, frowning. What's wrong with you? I look at him. At the man who told me to forget. I don't know, I say honestly. Because I don't. All I know is, whatever part of me answered him before, isn't there anymore. The silence stretches. His scent presses harder, demanding. My body sways. But I don't step closer. I don't reach for him. I don't need him. Not like before. Not at all. A knock cuts through the tension. Adam. Isaac. Of course. Adam's attention shifts instantly. The pressure in the room breaks. He releases me. Steps back. Just like that. Control yourself, he says again, sharper this time. I nod. There's nothing else to do. He turns toward the door. Doesn't look back. Doesn't notice that I'm already stepping away. That I'm already gone. I leave before he opens it. Walk the corridor without seeing it. Without feeling the cold. Without feeling anything at all. Percy. The voice catches me before I reach the outer gates. Deep. Familiar. Steady. I stop. Slowly turn. David stands there, armor dusted with travel, eyes fixed on me like he's been searching for something, and just found it broken. He takes one look at my face. At my posture. At the emptiness I can't hide. His jaw tightens. You're leaving. Not a question. I should deny it. I should say I belong here. That I chose this. That I'll stay. I open my mouth. Nothing comes out. He steps closer. Not hesitating. Not asking permission. You're leaving, he repeats, quieter this time. Firmer. My chest tightens faintly. A distant echo of something that used to be pain. Yes. The word is small. But it's the truest thing I've said since I arrived here. David's gaze softens, just slightly. Then hardens again. Good. His hand lifts. Not to grab. Not to control. Just waiting. I look at it. At him. At the space between what I was and what I could be. For the first time. I don't hesitate. I take it. The first night away from the palace is quiet. Not the suffocating kind. Not the kind that presses against my ears and reminds me of everything I've lost. This quiet breathes. The wind moves through the trees. The fire crackles low. Somewhere in the distance, something small rustles through the underbrush and disappears. No guards. No walls. No scent forcing its way into my lungs. Just space. I sit near the fire, hands wrapped around a cup I haven't touched. David moves around the camp like he belongs here, efficient, controlled, alert even in stillness. He doesn't look at me right away. Doesn't speak. Doesn't ask questions I don't know how to answer. For that alone, I'm grateful. You should eat. His voice breaks the silence eventually. Low. Steady. I glance at the food he set beside me earlier. Untouched. I'm not hungry. A lie. He knows it. I know it. But he doesn't call it out. Instead, you don't need to be hungry to survive. The words land quietly. Without pressure. Without expectation. I pick up the bowl. Take a bite. It tastes like something. That's enough. He sits across from me after that. Not too close. Not far either. Just there. Watching. Not in the way Adam used to. Not evaluating. Not measuring. Just making sure I don't disappear. You stayed too long. I freeze slightly. The spoon stills in my hand. I know. My voice comes out softer than I expect. He exhales through his nose. Not annoyed. Not angry. Just restrained. I told you to leave. I couldn't. Why? The question is immediate. Sharp. I lower my gaze. Because the answer is stupid. Because the answer hurts. I thought it mattered. Silence. Then, a quiet shift. The ground crunches softly as he stands. He moves closer. Stops just in front of me. Look at me. I hesitate. Then obey. His eyes are darker up close. Storm heavy. Focused. You don't stay somewhere you're not wanted, he says. I swallow. I was needed. For what? The question cuts deeper than it should. I don't answer. Because we both know. His jaw tightens. For a moment, I think he's going to say something harsher. Something that will break whatever fragile balance we're holding on to. Instead, his hand lifts. Stops just short of my face. Waits. It's such a small thing. So simple. But it hits harder than anything else. Because he's asking. My chest tightens. Slowly. I lean into it. His hand settles against my cheek. Warm. Solid. Real. Not searching. Not testing. Just there. You're cold. The words are quieter now. Different. I'm fine. You're not. I don't argue. There's no point. He crouches slightly, bringing himself level with me. Close. But not overwhelming. Nothing he did gets to follow you here. My breath catches. I don't respond. Because I don't know how to believe that yet. The fire cracks. The wind shifts. And for the first time, his scent reaches me fully. Not forced. Not suffocating. Strong but controlled. Grounded. It doesn't push into me. It settles around me. Waits. My body reacts. Slow. Cautious. Not like before. Not immediate. Not desperate. Just aware. David notices. Of course he does. His eyes sharpen slightly. But he doesn't move closer. Doesn't take advantage. Just watches. Waits. Tell me if it's too much. The words are rough. Not used to being said. But real. I nod faintly. Time stretches. The space between us shifts. Not tension. Not pressure. Something else. Something quieter. Safer. His hand slides from my cheek to the back of my neck. Firm. Anchoring. My breath stutters slightly. But I don't pull away. Percy. My name sounds different in his voice. Not like a command. Not like something to be used. Like something to be kept. I close my eyes for a second. Just a second. And let myself feel it. When I open them, he's closer. Not sudden. Not overwhelming. Just closer. His forehead brushes mine. Light. Careful. Like he's testing whether I'll break. I won't rush you. The promise settles deep. Somewhere fragile. Somewhere I didn't realize was still there. But my fingers move before my thoughts can stop them. They curl lightly into the front of his clothes. Holding. Not tightly. Just enough. His breath shifts. Barely. But I feel it. You're sure? The question is low. Controlled. Holding something back. I nod. Slow. Certain. This time. When he closes the distance. It's different. No force. No urgency. No confusion. His touch is deliberate. Measured. Every movement slow enough for me to follow. To understand. To choose. When his hand slides along my back, it pauses. Just slightly. Like he's waiting for me to pull away. I don't. My body responds. But not like before. Not out of instinct. Not out of pressure. Out of something softer. Something that builds instead of overwhelms. His lips brush against my skin. Warm. Careful. I exhale shakily. Not from fear. Not from confusion. From feeling. Say it. His voice is rougher now. Lower. Say if you want me to stop. I don't. The words come out without hesitation. Something in him snaps. Not control. Restraint. His hand tightens slightly at my waist, pulling me closer. Firm now, possessive in a way that doesn't trap. That claims. No one else touches you like this again. The words are not a threat. They're a promise. And this time, when I lean into him, I don't feel like I'm replacing anyone. I don't feel like I'm being used. I don't feel like I have to hold something together just to survive. I just exist. Later, I'm wrapped in something warm. Solid. Safe. David's arm rests around me. Heavy. Unmoving. Like he has no intention of letting go. I stare at the firelight flickering across the ground. My breathing finally steady. My body finally quiet. Percy. His voice is softer now. Close to my ear. Yes. A pause. Then. You're staying. Not a question. I shift slightly, turning just enough to look at him. Really look this time. Yes. His grip tightens just slightly. Not enough to hurt. Just enough to confirm. Good. Time passes. Days. Weeks. The world feels different out here. Slower. Kinder. And my body begins to change again. This time, when I press my hand to my stomach, there's no fear. No panic. No dread. Just warmth. David notices before I say anything. Of course he does. His hand settles over mine. Careful. Grounded. This one, he says quietly, eyes steady on mine. We protect. I nod. And for the first time, I believe it.